In TikTok, I want to say welcome to you and thank you for joining. Now, we got a wonderful session today. I want y'all to remember that we are coming into our new season. It's going to be starting on Sunday. Our new season, spring 2023, is going to be starting on Sunday. For those of you all who are interested in learning about law, I want y'all to go to UNA University and sign up so that we can have a consultation with you and enroll you. This is an 8-week session. It is very, very powerful, very, very important. And I'm going to go into what we're talking about in the session. All right. And I want you all to stay tuned because some of you all have questions about, the straw man, questions about status, questions about, your account or your estate. You want to stay tuned because we're going to go over that, and I want you all to ask me questions and put them in the inbox. Shelly over there on YouTube, make sure you put it in the inbox. Let me see. L. Mitch, welcome. Young Guns, welcome. Rick James. Hey, Rick James, welcome. Let me see. L says, got a good Hoppin' John recipe. I don't know what Hoppin' John is. Who is that asked that? L. Mitch. Explain what you're talking about. If you're talking about cooking, I got recipes for vegetarians and vegans. Are you a vegetarian and vegan? Well, then we can talk. All right, but let me get into this. Don't forget, as a matter of fact, remember, recordar. Go to the link in the bio. And for those of y'all who can't reach the link in the bio on TikTok, go to UNARepublic. Excuse me, UNA University. Go to UNA University and scroll down, and you can get the ebook. $14.99 for the ebook. For the physical version of this, it's $29.99. All right. What's in the ebook, Diva? All right. Pay attention. Pay attention. Watch this. There is, we talk all the time about the universal laws and the hierarchy of laws. All right. It is in this book. Universal laws, hierarchy of laws in this book. Also, it goes into why they are so important. All right. This book, this is the beginners. This is the UNA beginner law book. All right, goes into why those laws are so important, goes into contract writing. Contract writing gives you some samples of contracts so that you can understand that you have been contracting the whole time. Also, these are the laws of Maxim, all 300 and some odd of them. All right, these come straight from the Bible. This is a powerful book. These laws stand above man's law. This is why you want to have this book. All right, this is the book. Any court that I create, any court that I go into, this book coming with me, and everything in it is coming with me. All right. Also, this we talked about contract writing and some sample contracts, and very importantly, this is the vibratory frequency chart. Why it's important that you keep your vibratory frequency high, and also in here, I'm gonna read just a little bit of this. Indemnity clause, because how people be talking, oh, this is for educational purposes. Let me tell y'all something. This is not for just your education. Yeah, we want to educate you. And this is not for your entertainment purposes either. This is about you growing in knowledge, in law, and in life. All right. Let me read this, just a part of it, because this is one of our clauses, because we're not talking about you, oh, well, this is just for educational purposes only. No, it's not. The concepts provided within this publication are very serious and powerful tools that can help you gain your freedom and protect yourself from taxation, litigation, seizure, and or levy of property, being arrested by private law enforcement agencies, liens being made on any assets or estates, etc. The reader acknowledges and agrees that the information contained within this publication constitutes sound legal advice and is provided for the purpose of uplifting those who choose to educate themselves. The reader shall indemnify and hold UNA harmless from any and all claims, demands, damages, costs, and expenses that arise from the reader's negligent use or application of the information contained within this publication, including and not limited to any and everything else. What I'm saying is, I'm giving you this information and you use it to your advantage. But you are responsible for using it properly. And if it doesn't work for you, then UNA is indemnified. And that's the same thing I'm saying to you right here, right now. I'm giving you sound legal information and lawful information. Lawful, sound, lawful information. It is up to you to use it, and I am indemnified. I'm not going to be responsible for how you use it, but I'm letting you know it's very powerful and it's very much sound. That's why you need to look it up for yourself before you use it. All right. Now, with this book, we're giving you a laminated copy of the hierarchy of law chart. Very important. We're giving you a laminated copy of the universal law chart. We're giving you a laminated copy of the vibratory frequency chart. Why? Because we want you to put these up. We don't want you tearing up the book so you can put these up. We're going to give them to you once you put them on your mirror, on your window, on your refrigerator, on your wall. Put them up. Frame them. All right, so that you can have them all around you. These are very important laws. All right. Once again, this is the UNA Beginner Law Book. You can get this when you go to UNA University. There's a link on there where you can purchase it, or you can find the link in the bio. Also, don't forget, I want you all, there's a link called an event link that should pop up. All right, so on that event link, you will also be able to get this book. All right, now the university is starting. Go to unauniversity.com and enroll so that you can be with us when we start on Sunday. All right, we're talking about we're going into how to clean up your status, how to put your straw man under your control. That's what we're going into. All right, now this session, overcoming fear and standing in law. That is very important. Very, very important. Now, I had a guy recently. He reached out to me, who I had talked to about this information about putting yourself under trust. I talked to him about 6 years ago about this information, and he said, he wrote me back. He was like, Diva, I wish I had listened to you 6 years ago when you told me about my mortgage and how to get it paid off and blah blah blah. Okay, he said, but I was too scared. I was in fear, and this is a very important topic because, I've talked about how I've been in this game and been helping people and giving them information. Thank you for joining, Terry and MV Purple. Thank you so much for following. And Terry, thank you for following. All of my people watching me in YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe and like and love and share. And y'all people in TikTok, share and like and love and all that good stuff. Now, this is an important topic because so many times I've seen people allow fear to keep them from moving forward. I've had situations where, because people feared, they refused to listen. I'm not talking to those people, because the people who are here, y'all are ready. All right, you're ready to move forward. I'm talking to you. And I'm needing to make it clear that if you're in that, then you want to pull yourself out of it real quick, because you're missing out. You're allowing yourself to continue to get stepped on. All right, so I've also talked to you all about my mother and my father. They both died with a mortgage because they didn't want to listen. They were too much in fear. And fear is a very real thing. That's why we have the vibratory frequency chart. We got the vibratory frequency chart because when you understand this, fear is all the way down here. Fear. That's a lower vibratory frequency. If you're down here, you cannot win. You don't want to be down here operating in fear because you're not operating in your right mind. So I'm talking about overcoming the fear today, because when we are operating in this game, we understand we come out of our fear, then we start to really manifest the things that we desire. And you cannot do that when you're operating in fear. Thank you, Lake Jones, for joining. Terry says thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Lake Jones. Thank you. Thank you, and YouTube. Thank you for joining. Now, so let me go into this. I've had several different instances where I've gone out to help people who were in a situation. And I need y'all to understand something, because I've also had people to come to me and ask me, well, I want to get my mama's house paid for, blah, blah, blah. And they want to use this process. And I have to let them know that I cannot help somebody, or you cannot help somebody who refuses to listen. You can't. Because somebody would say to me, well, why you didn't just pay your mama's house note? I can't do what somebody is not allowing me to do. If you are refusing to listen, if you're refusing to hear, if you don't want to know the information, then I cannot help you. And so a lot of that, again, it all comes from fear. There have been instances where there were people who were in a really, really bad situation, where all they needed was to apply certain techniques that we're teaching you in the seminar, and they refused. So then I have to back off because I cannot force my help on you. So I'm saying all of this to say that we need to recognize that when you're walking in fear, that is where the system wants you, so that you never try to uplift yourself. All right. If you're choosing not to listen, not to learn, not to gain knowledge, that is where those running the system want you to be. They want you to fear, because as long as there is fear, then there is control over you. You have no control. They have all the control. All right. So if you're wanting to move in a different direction in your third dimension, because we talk about, operating in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. But if you're wanting to move, then you got to come out of fear. All right. So, but the people who I'm talking to, that's not you. So let's move on, because I want you to understand what it is we do in the UNA University. Now, I need to get on this because I've also had a lot of people who've come to me and they said, well, Diva, I paid somebody to file my documents and I'm still not free. You can't pay somebody to file your documents for you. The knowledge is what gives you freedom, not just paying somebody, they're going to file some documents, because you have to know how to stand on every document that there is for you. Otherwise, you don't have freedom. It's like having the world's most powerful weapon and you don't know how to take the safety out. That weapon is not going to work for you. This is why you have to come in and gain knowledge of what is going on. So when one of our signature courses for UNA University is called Back to Basics. In Back to Basics, we're teaching you what a trust is, because that's what we go into, trust. All right, why it's created, what its power is, where to file it, how to file it, why you're filing it, what the laws are for the people who have to take it. You need to know all of that. And also, let's understand this. There's a process. When you're filing these documents, there is a process. And the process is that you have to walk the path. All right, this is why we don't file documents for people. You got to create your own trust. This is why, again, people are coming to me, well, somebody filed it for me. No, we don't want to file your documents. Now, we do have members, and we create a trust for our members, but they need to come into class. And we're making it clear. And we always give a consultation with our trust. So we do have trust. You can purchase a trust through UNA and become a member. However, you still have to have the knowledge. We're always going to give a consultation for our members. But if you don't have the knowledge, that's on you. You cannot be free if you're ignorant. I told y'all this. Freedom and ignorance do not coexist. They don't exist together. If you are ignorant, you cannot have freedom. Just making that clear. So this is why we don't file your documents. You need to come into the university and learn how to file them yourself, because you're going to have to stand on them. All right. So one of the things is, if you're wanting your freedom, yeah, you got to pay. Yeah, you can pay some Federal Reserve notes, but you also have to pay attention, meaning you have to be willing to get this knowledge and let it become a part of you. Law has to become a part of you. And so when we are helping people in the university, we're not filing it for you, because you got to walk it. I didn't tell you how many people, reasons why we don't. How many people that when we first started doing this, we gave them a trust. None of them know how to stand. They don't know how to stand. And then when it came time to stand, watch this now. I'm there telling them step by step what to do, and they don't do it. If you're not willing to stand out of your fear, then you don't deserve freedom. If you're fearing and you're ignorant, you don't deserve freedom. You're not going to get it because somebody's going to forever step on your rights because you won't stand up or you don't know enough to stand up. You got to have the knowledge. You have to have it. Nobody can do it for you. So in this process, when you come in, there are all of these steps that you got to take in order to gain your freedom and gain knowledge of it. All these steps. And you're going to have to do them step by step. Because when you don't do it, let's say it's one step and you decide you're too scared to do it, then you're not ready. And that's okay. When you're ready, you will have the knowledge of how to do it. But, there's steps all along the way that start with, okay, going into the post office and getting certain items from the post office. Can you do that? Because there's going to be a block. Likely. I want to write that contract. But a lot of times people have blocks. Can you get past it? Do you know what to say to have these people to do for you what they're supposed to do by law? If you can't get past the post office, you're not ready for the next step. And it gets more and more difficult, more and more intimidating every step you go. But once you take those steps, then you know you are ready to stand. If you have taken the proper steps, then you know that you are ready to stand. All right, I want to go into this because I know somebody's going, well, what you talking about standing in the post office and what's the, okay, all this stuff is tied in. But you got to come into the university, and that's where we give you more step-by-step information. This is not just theory. We're not just talking about it, because I let you know I can't count the number of students or former students that have come to me and said, man, I had this trust and I didn't go to jail. Or man, the cop came at me and he told me, he said, you got a warrant for your arrest, but I was under trust, so he let me go. Let me tell y'all something. Anybody who knows how these cops work, when they tell you you got a warrant for your arrest, there's not going to be that much talking. They're going to be like, well, please step out the car and put your hands behind your back. But not my students. When they're under trust, the cop says, well, you got a warrant for your arrest in such state. You're free to go. Why is that? It's because of the trust. You got to know how to stand on it. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing for you to be having warrants. I'm just giving you an understanding of how powerful these tools are that we're creating. But if you don't know how to use them, then it's not to your advantage. So this is why it's important to come into the university so that we can show you step by step and you can be clear on why it is you have the power and authority to demand the things that you're going to be demanding when you're dealing with these agents. All right. So I want to go through the straw man. What is the straw man? I want to welcome everybody. Thank you all for joining. If you all have any questions or comments, I want you to leave them so that we can answer them before we get out of here. I'm yours truly, Diva Goes, with the UNA University and UNARepublic. Before I go on, somebody asked me about our symbols here, our logo. And I thought it was a great question because it brings up what we're doing this season. Thank you, Joe Hall. Yes, the straw man is the corporation. Young says one-on-one. What is that? I don't know what that is. Elmore says, what does it take to join? Go to the UNA University site, and we're going to give a consultation to you, Elmore. Leave your name there, or just leave your name in the inbox. Send a message in the inbox with your number. We'll be glad to call you, give you a consultation. That consultation to enroll is a free consultation. All right, so let me go through this real quick. Somebody asked me about the symbols here. Now, the Eye of Horus is representative of a higher vision. All right. A lot of people are so used to seeing with their carnal eyes, they don't recognize that third eye and how powerful that vision is, that is the future. Also, this eye of Horus represents the vision and ability to see in the past. Uh, my people in YouTube were like, what is she doing? Yeah, I have a sign up back here. My people in TikTok can see it. All right. So when you have knowledge of the universal laws, the hierarchy of laws, but especially the universal laws, it allows you the vision to see in the past. That's with the third eye. You can see things that, you know, other people can't see because they're not elite. The people and the students in our school, they are elite because they have that knowledge. All right. And so I tell you, I'm an oracle and I can see things because I have a different vision. I have a different vision. And so when you're coming into the school, one of the sessions that we're going through this season is history and self-mastery. And so that one, we really go into the universal laws and the higher laws so that you can really understand how to walk in this game. All right. Now, the pyramid also represents uh, uh, that prism, whereby, first of all, I want y'all to understand just the triangle itself. It represents power because there is a I don't know if you you all have seen like the pyramids of Giza and all that. It represents a power, and the energy comes up to this point, and then you get this power when you have that knowledge and you can see with that third eye. Young guns, yeah, you have to send a message, and that'll be a we'll tell you what it is to have a one-on-one. What does it take to join? Okay, so go to UNA University and you can join, send a message, or in the inbox for my people in TikTok, leave a message in the inbox, and then make sure you leave your number, and we're going to be glad to contact you. Okay, now let's get into this thing. Straw man. What is the straw man? All right, so let's recognize that when you were born, your mother signed a contract that's called a birth certificate. All right. It is a contract. And when your mother signed, she created money with her very signature. All right. She created money because that birth certificate is also a bond. All right. Let's understand. And I hope y'all, by the way, if you listening to this, please take notes. If you're serious about gaining this information and gaining knowledge, you see me, you want to have a pen and some paper and take notes. A bond. A bond is a contract that does just what it says. It bonds two dissimilar things. So what it's going to do is bond your human vessel over here with this all capital letter corporation, which is paper, a contract. The contract, your all capital letter name, is a dead entity, a corporation. That's why it's called a corpse. And your physical vessel is joined with the bond that's known as a birth certificate. A bond joins two dissimilar things. It's a financial instrument that joins two dissimilar things. So now there's this bond. And the problem with this bond is that you've been made to think that you're this corporation. Well, this corporation is what's called the straw man. This is not you. You are the human over here, spiritual entity. Whereas this bond is a dead, all capital letter corporation. Now, some of y'all are like, well, no, my mama signed it and that's my name. That name on your driver's license, the name on your passport, your any ID, your bill, your light bill, water bill, gas bill, the name on your car note, the name on your house note. All of those are not you. They are considered your straw man. How can you tell the difference? Anything that is all capital letter is the corporation that your mother consented for the state to create. So I said again, you can tell the difference because the all capital letter name is not you. It is the corporation that your mother consented for the state to create. All right. You, the living entity over here, however, have been trained and taught to believe that this is you, when it's really a dead corporation that your mother consented for you, for your estate. Now, let's understand something. You have to learn to take it over, and that's what we do so that you can control it, because right now it's just waiting out in the matrix somewhere, and somebody else is controlling it, and you are being manipulated because they tell you to sign this and you sign it. Next thing you know, they're tapping into your estate and you don't know about it. So let's go into what this estate is. All right. So the estate, what happened when your mother signed that contract, that birth certificate, which we talked about is a bond, is that the United States Corporation takes that bond and they borrow money from these agencies. So we're going to talk about the IMF, International Money Fund. They borrow money off on that corporation using your mother's signature on that birth certificate. All right. Now, and I need y'all to pay attention because we're going to go into status and what status is. When your mother signs that birth certificate, it creates money. Now, to this day, it's said that it's close to $1 million that they borrow. Now, when they borrow this money from the IMF, there are rules. There are rules. And the rule says that they can't just take the money and use it however they want to. No, they got to put that in an estate. And that estate has to be associated with your all capital letter name, which is the corporation your mother created, and that social security number. Those two things. And it has to be in that estate. Okay? So as long as it's in that estate, then they get to keep it and hold on to it until you claim it. The problem is that your mother, she could have created that for herself, but she didn't know. She didn't know about the fact that she can create the corporation and she could fund it with her signature and borrow money off. She didn't know that. All right, so now that she knows, or now that you know, rather, now that you know, you need to take it over. All right, let's get into this. So what happens is those $1 million go into an estate that's denoted by your all capital letter name and your social security number. Now, I need to go into something because a lot of people, I need y'all, let's get into our words and making sure that our words are on point. Because a lot of people say, well, they made us slaves, and that you were never a slave. What they did was they created an all capital letter corporation. And then they made you believe that you're that corporation. Now, I need y'all to understand something. Yes, there was trickery. Yes. At the same time, the same thing that they use to trick and entrap you is the same thing that you use to uplift yourself. Well, what you talking about, Diva? Because they said we were slaves, and somebody else is telling you that. Diva Laree is letting you know you were never a slave. When you change your mind, you can start walking like the God that you are. All right? So what has happened is they created an estate, and in it's got $1 million. And over the lifetime of your life, or the span of your life, is 25 years actually, this thing is accumulating interest. It's accumulating interest. It's $1 million over the span of your lifetime. Now, Your mom didn't know to do that. Your mother didn't know to do that. Put this $1 million in this thing and let it accumulate money over the 25 years. Well, you know now. And guess what? You need to be thanking them for putting that money in this account, because now you can take it over. This is what has been paying for everything. This is why they want to know your social security number when you go to school. They want to know your social security number when you go to jail. When they pull you over, they want to know your social. When they whatever you're doing, buying a car, when you're buying a house, they want to know your social security number. Why you if it's not that real, why do you keep asking for the social? Because it's an estate and they're tapping into it every time you give them the social and sign anything. You're creating another bond. Nobody. Please expound on what you're saying before somebody else comes in and puts a lock on you. Just expound on it and make your comments clear, and make sure they're on point with what we're talking about in this session. Thank you for joining, nobody, though. Thank you for joining. All right, so you've got to recognize what's going on is that there is an estate and it has accumulated funds, and it is what has been paying for everything over the whole time. And because you weren't taught that information, you've been paying with Federal Reserve notes when everything is already paid. Okay. So now I get this other comment when people are saying things like, well, it don't belong to you. It don't belong to us. Let me dispel that myth and that lie so that you can understand for yourself. Thank you for that question, Wireman. Wireman says, who's tapping into it? The school, the bank, the car loan company, the mortgage company, anybody else the light bill, water bill, gas company, anybody else who you've given your social to, your job. That's who's tapping into it. The hospital, who you giving your social to? That's who's tapping into it. They don't just get it just because. No, there's an estate there. All right. Here you go. Nobody, it's been good seeing you. Thank you so much for joining. All right, now. So it's very important that we recognize what's going on in this game. It's not about being upset, but that whole notion that it doesn't belong to you. Let's explain some things. Now, watch this now. Who created the name? That's your mother's property. That's her creative property. She created the name and gave it to you. Who signed the birth certificate? Your mother signed the birth certificate. Her signature is the money. So she is the creator. So I need y'all to understand what a trust is. All right. When your mother created this, your mother created a trust when she signed that birth certificate. As soon as she became the creator, she was the one who has the rights to any assets concerning the corporation. So your mother is the creator, and your mother's signature is what started the whole thing. And then she created it for you. Mr. Augie, thank you so much for the love, Mr. Augie. So your mother created it for you. You are the beneficiary. So who else could it belong to but you or your mother? Who else could it belong to? Well, it's them, because on the back of the Social Security card, it say that it belongs to the state, and when they ask for it back, okay. All right. So let's understand this. First of all, the state, Social Security company, and none of these other people, they're all dead corporations. I need y'all to take notes. A dead entity cannot own anything of value. It cannot own anything of value. Your Social Security card has a value. Your estate has a value. Your name has a value. It cannot own anything of value. It also cannot create money. If the state can't create money, then how are they giving you benefits? How are they giving me benefits, Diva, if they don't create money? What did they ask you for before they gave you a benefit? A social security number. Because what they're doing is pulling those benefits directly from your estate. That's why they need your social security number. And a corporation cannot create money, but they can surely get you to create money for yourself and tell you that they gave it to you, but they really didn't. They got it from you. All right. And so what happens is they're telling you, yeah, this is our money. Well, don't we know how much they lie to us all the time? They lie to us on a regular basis. So if you believe that this $1,000,000 that is yours is theirs and you give it to them, well, they're going to take it and they're going to liquidate it. But if it's got your all capital letter name on it, it belongs to you. You just need to learn how to claim it. And that's what we do. Nothing with your all capital letter name on it, once you put it under trust, belongs to them. It belongs to you. And so you can see through the BS when you see it. If they say they're trying to claim something with your corporation name on it, I don't care if it's a driver's license, I don't care if it's a social security card, I don't care what it is. If it's got your all capital letter name on it, then it belongs to you. And you learn to claim it. Because if it's got your corporation name on it, please know that it has value. Especially if it's got a signature on it. As soon as you put a signature on something with your all capital letter name on it, it has value. You have charged it. Learn to claim what belongs to you. All right. Learn to claim what belongs to you. Sharon says, I'm working on it. What you working on, Sharon? Terry. Thank you for joining. Halo. Does that require status? Thank you, Mr. Argue. Let's talk about what status is. All right. So when we're talking about status and what status is, let's understand what's going on when your mother signs the birth certificate. All right. So once your mother signs the birth certificate, I talked to you about how there are laws that the system has to follow, meaning the state, United States Corporation. And if you don't know the difference between the United States Corporation and the United States, go find us on YouTube. All right, find us on YouTube, and we actually go into depth about the difference between the United States Corporation versus the United States. All right, so I spoke about how there are laws that they have to follow when your mother signs that birth certificate. And one of those laws deals with the form that's known as the SF-181 form. SF-181 form. Now, what I always tell you guys, and I need y'all to understand something, status deals with a dead entity. All right? The status doesn't have nothing to do with you as a sovereign. It has to do with this all capital letter corporation dead entity. Now, when you look at the SF-181 form, there are 5 ethnic categories by law. When you have a social security number, once your mother has signed that birth certificate, by law, they have to give you some kind of, they have to provide for you. Let's just say it like that. When they have your social security number, or they've created a social security number, they have to provide for you by law. Now, how much they provide for you is going to be determined by what has been declared on that SF-181 form. So I'm going to call the names. One of them is Indian or American Indian. All right. Another one is Samoan or Hawaiian Eskimo. Another one is Asian. I think it's Asian. And then the other 2 is black and white. Now, I need you see, I'm not going into that today. How much time I got? I mean, I got time today, but I'm just hit it a little bit. All right, listen, black or white. And I go into all this black and white. Now, if you're claiming to be American Indian, or I forget the actual title of it, but is American Indian. If you're claiming to be American Indian, you getting they're giving you some land on a reservation, or they're giving you a stipend each month, or whatever they're doing. They're giving you a little bit more benefits. All right, these are benefits. Asian and Hawaiian, I'm not sure what the benefits are, but if you claim to be white, they're giving you a few more, a little bit less benefits than what they do for the American Indians. And then if you claim to be black, well, you get a crust, you get a piece of the crust. Now let's imagine like this is just a whole pie. All right. Let's just imagine this as it is a whole pie. All right. And when your mother signed the birth certificate, there's this pie that's created, and it really belongs to you. Now, depending on what has been declared on this SF 181 form, that's how much of the pie that you get. Now, if you claim to be black, you getting some of the crust. If you claim to be American Indian, you getting, land, you getting some stipends or whatever. And if you claiming to be white, you somewhere in between, and all the other ones are somewhere in between. Now, by law, that's a federal law that they have to do something for you. If you're claiming to be black, that's the least amount. You're getting the least amount that they have to do for you. Now, and that's what we're dealing with status, those 5 particular, and of course you can make up your own. By law, you have the right to do that, because that SF 181 form is nothing but a contract, and we learn how to create contracts in the university. All right. So what happens when we're talking about correcting your status, some people go in and change it to American Indian, some people go in and change it to white, for me, I'm preferring, if you want to go in there, you can put other, create your own box and put other, or just create a whole contract and make a statement about who you are and put that on record. That is clearing up your status, or declaring your status as who you are. And that's exactly what we do in the university. We make a declaration of who we are, just like somebody else put in here, we are guys. Yes, we are. You put that is on our declarations, who we are, and that overrides an SF 181 form. But you do have the right to go in and change that SF 181 form if you desire. But again, that SF 181 form is only dealing with this over here, this dead entity. It's not dealing with this spiritual being on this side. The declaration that we put in, it deals with the spiritual being, and it takes over all of this. The other thing that you want to recognize, all right, with that SF 181 form, is going to deal with this all capital letter corporation. All right. And then we go in and make sure that we put all of that under trust. We're going to put everything under trust, because now you have claimed it. Look, once you claim it on this side, you don't deal with what somebody, some crumbs, some benefits. You don't deal with benefits. You take over the whole pie. All right. You get to control the whole pie. It's not just about what benefits they want to give you as you claiming white or you claiming American Indian. But no, it's about you taking over your estate, your total estate. All right. If I have any questions on that, y'all send me any questions. Does that require a status? Okay, so we went over status. This is fire. Thank you, recognize. Recognize. You recognize the truth, the facts. All right. Sharon says, I'm working on it. What you working on, Sharon? Foresight said, fourth for the sleep says, oh, what? Joshua says, because your mother informed on you. Let me say this, okay? Um, Yeah, your mother informed, and she didn't really know what she was doing. But don't, that's not something that we want to be stuck on, because the simple fact, she did you a favor. They did you a favor, because when your mother signed that birth certificate, once again, they put that in an estate. That estate still belongs to you. It's there for you to claim it. Most people don't ever claim it. What we claiming it now. Thank you. Thank you, United States Corporation. Appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and take this over now. Because by law, they had to keep it in that account. They can't just pillage it. Now, what they can do is give you traffic tickets and make you sign over all kind of whatever for the hospital, and your hospital bills are all paid off. For education, the education is all paid off. They can make you sign things for that, and then force you to have you paying Federal Reserve notes, which is dollar bills, while at the same time tapping your estate. Okay, now you know the game. Now we're ready to take over the estate. And we're not going to be worried about, oh, your mother informed on you. That's that negative talk. That's that negative talk. We don't even get into that, because why? We in a new time. Everything that has been used to keep us down, we're going to turn it. We're going to flip the script, because that's what we do. We use everything positive. So we're going to get off of that whole negative thing where they're trying to, oh, you was they made you a slave. Nobody made you a slave. What they did was they told you that you were this person and you believed it. Well, stop believing it. Stop believing it and stand up and walk like the God that you are. That's what we're talking about here. We're not even concerned about whatever negative stuff. If you're walking in that mindset, you are in a lower vibratory frequency. And speaking of that, let me get into this once again. Don't forget, we have the UNA Beginner Law Book. Okay, this is in ebook format, and it is also in physical format. The ebook is $14.99. The actual physical copy, all right, is $29.99. And I told y'all what's in here. Universal laws, hierarchy of laws are in here. The maxims of law are in here. These come from the Bible. This stands above man's law. This information in here, it stands above man's law. This is a powerful book. Vibratory frequency chart is in here. Contract writing information is in here. Very important. This is a powerful book. Also in the book, if you get the physical copy, we're going to send you a laminated copy of the universal law, the maxims of law, as well as the universal laws and the vibratory frequency chart, because we don't want you tearing up the book. We want you to put these things up all over. All right. The UNA law book. There should be some kind of event on here. So make sure y'all check for that link. You can go find the link in the bio. And for my people in YouTube, you can go and find us at UNAUniversity.com. All right. It's there on UNAUniversity.com. Get the book. Get the book. Why does it say informants? All right. Thank you, Stay Good. Says Teach Queen. Thank you, Stay Good. Appreciate the love. Mr. Augie, thank you so much for the roses. They put it on the money in God we trust. Yeah. And some people I've heard some people interpret that as that trust is called in God we. That, you know, the Federal Reserve notes, and I was gonna pull one out, but the Federal Reserve notes is a trust. Again, listen, that paper, the dollar bill, $20 bill, it is a bond, and it's joining dissimilar things. And on that bond, all right, it is a trust. It's a contract. Jay Darnell, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So, what you got to recognize is that is a trust. And anytime you're doing business, you're doing a trust business. And just like with the birth certificate, that was a trust created by your mother. All right. Just answering questions before I move on to the next subject. Who's tapping into it? Sunset Beach. If there's something I missed, please let me know before I get out of here. POW, aka Prisoners of War. All right. So if y'all have any questions, I want you to put them in the inbox or in the comment section so I can get to them. All my people over there on YouTube, I love you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. All right, so let me see if I have any other questions before I go. How can we get our trust? Well, that's what we deal with in the university. Thank you for asking, Felicia. That's why you need to join the university so we can show you how to get to your trust, how to create a trust, how to fund your trust, all of that. That's what we go over in the university. And this is an 8-week session. I do want to go into that. This season we have Back to Basics. All right, that is one of our signature courses. It's starting on Sunday. So if you want to be a part of that 8-week session, all right, because I need y'all to understand something about this. And a lot of you all are aware because a lot of you all have been studying. This is not information that's just going to pop in your head. You got to be serious about learning this information and about your freedom. And it's going to take you time. This is why we have to have an 8-week session. And this is why we don't rush people through this information, because first of all, you got to get over your fear. Secondly, you got to be willing to gain the knowledge, and it takes time. But I'll let you know, if you're looking for your freedom, this is where you need to be, because we're going to make sure that you get the questions answered. That's the other thing. I've had a lot of students that have been in this game for 5 and 10 years and still didn't do the basics of what they needed to do to protect themselves. Why? Because they didn't have somebody there to ask questions to. When you're starting on this path, all kind of stuff is going to step up. You're going to pick your paperwork. Oh, I'm going to do this. And then you get to doing it, and then something stops you in the road. You get a bump here, and you don't have anybody who you can ask, anybody who you can go to. Somebody scared you over here. Somebody told you this over here, and you're not sure if this is right or that is right. You need somebody there who can help you walk step by step. That's what we're doing in the university. We're not talking about it. We're doing it. By the end of 3 months, you're going to have all the information you need in order to establish your sovereignty or your freedom. At the end of 3 months, that doesn't mean you're going to have it done in 3 months, because it's up to you how fast you want to move. But by the end of 3 months, you're going to have every piece of information you need in order to move forward. Also, the university gives you somebody there who can help you and answer your questions that you didn't have before. All right. That's one of the things that I didn't have when I first started in this. There's somebody who I can ask questions to. This is why you got to pay to be in the university, because, listen, we have paid. If you're talking about, well, you didn't pay no Federal Reserve notes. Oh, I paid Federal Reserve notes. I paid with jail time and having to figure out, well, what to do to keep from doing this and doing that. Yeah. I've applied the information. And my students have applied the information to the point where they didn't have to go through what I went through, because I was able to tell them exactly what to do to keep this from happening. But the other thing is you got to be willing to stand. And a lot of people, if you're walking in fear, you cannot stand. Your knees are going to buckle. I have people who come at me and they're like, well, where the money at? Steve, I need that money because, give me some money because I just want to tap into the TDA account. Where the money at? Hey, do you know how to stand? Do you know what the law is? Because when you start talking about 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 110,000, a million, you better know they're going to come at you. You're going to be throwing some red flags, and they're going to come at you. Do you know how to stand when they come at you? If you don't, you're not ready for the money, baby. You're not ready. This is why it's important to come into the school and learn the law, so that if they're trying to come at you, you know how to hold on to it. You can't hold on to it if you're scared. You can't hold on to it if you're ignorant. No, they're going to take it from you because you're not going to know what to do. So all of this is about gaining knowledge, being willing to learn and listen, and then being in the university puts you around other people who've done it. It puts you in touch with somebody who can help you when you get stuck. Because if you get stuck on this particular situation, and trust me, something's going to come up on your path. All right. You're going to put the documents down. A week going to go by. A month. It's going to go by. 2 months. 6 months. A year. And you still will not have done the basics of what you need to do to gain your freedom. What? You need to be willing to come into the university. If you don't get help here, get help somewhere. But you're going to need to have somebody there with you if you're really talking about moving forward and advancing in a smooth fashion and a rapid fashion. And I'm telling y'all need to be rapid about this right about now, because things are changing quickly. Pudge says, I just bought the book. All right. Thank you, Pudge, for the love. Bought the ebook. Felicia says, I fear nothing but God. All right. And you really don't have to fear God when you're righteous. You don't have to fear. God is on your side. Joe Hall says, make sure you put a copyright on your fingerprint and a photo of your face. Thank you, Joe Hall. Yeah. And that's what we do when we do our trust. You're able to put that your photo of your face or your ID, any of your IDs, along with your fingerprint when you're one second. All right. A copy of your fingerprint when we're doing the trust, all right, and what we call a Schedule C. How do I get a trust? Shem, we go over that in the university. We actually create the trust and show you how to do it step by step. Felicia says, how can we get our trust? Once again, come into the university and we go over exactly what you need to do step by step. How do I get the book? If you're talking about the book, go to UNARepublic.com or check the links in the bio. There should be a event link here for you guys. Send me an e-copy. Johnny, go to UNARepublic.com and you can purchase the ebook. Thank you all for your support and your love. Ayers says, I want the book. Yeah, go get it from UNA University. Pudge says, I'm standing. All right, keep on keeping on then, Pudge. Turning. Thank you for joining. My people in TikTok, Shelly, Terry, Jay, thank you so much for the love and for joining. Jack Frost, thank you for sharing. And Ethereum, I love the name, says, so I'm going to need this. Yeah, you're going to need this. Do you have to go to court? Johnny, thank you for that question. Do you have to go to court? All right. Let's understand what court is. Now, and why court even comes up. Thank you for that question, Johnny. And I want y'all to pay attention and take notes. Take notes and pay attention. All right. Why is it? Do you have to go to court? Let's understand what happens in court and why you're in court in the first place. All right. When someone sends you a contract, whether it be a mortgage or whether it be for your car or a traffic ticket, these are all contracts. Everything is a contract. All right. And what happens so often is people do not answer contracts. Y'all pay attention to this now. This is very important. I just said if your mortgage company sends you a contract, when a mortgage company sends you a bill and says, all right, Miss Jones, you owe us $900 for this month's mortgage, and you need to pay that because you're behind, that's a contract. And when you don't answer it, you have agreed that, okay, you owe $900. So then they're going to send you another contract. It's like, Ms. Johnson, you're behind $1,800 now, and you owe us that for the mortgage. And then you don't answer. You don't say yes or no or whatever. It doesn't matter. When you don't answer, you agreed to whatever contract they're sending you. All right. And then when you end up in court, it's because you are in dishonor. A court always shows up because you are in dishonor. What does that mean? You didn't answer. If you just stay silent, because like some people I've seen in the past, mortgage company is sending them bills and they just run up under the bed. They don't respond. They don't say, they don't even try to make payment plans. And my brain, I just can't do it. I can't handle it. Okay. Well, then you're not acting like a sovereign. You're acting like a child. And when you act like a child, they're going to take advantage of you because you didn't answer. And in law, the fact that these people are sending you these contracts saying, hey, you owe me for this. Hey, you owe me for the car. Hey, you owe me for this. And when you don't respond, you're saying, okay, I agree. And then when you agree and you don't pay, then you are in dishonor and then you end up in court. But now, Diva, I'm talking about a traffic ticket. See, because I had a traffic ticket and I had to go to court. Yeah. Did you sign the ticket? The ticket is a contract. We talk about that in the book. The ticket is a contract. I'm going to say it again because somebody not getting it. The ticket is a contract. And when you sign it, and they're going to tell you, no, you're not agreeing to anything. You can just show up in court. Guess what? They don't tell you this because either they know or they're not supposed to tell you. Either they know or they don't know. But I'm going to let you know this. Bottom line is when you sign that ticket, you sign a contract. And if you don't respond to it within 10 days, this is the law that they don't tell you about. If you don't respond to that ticket in 10 days, you have agreed to the terms of the contract. The ticket is a contract. So now, you don't respond to it in 10 days, but they tell you, oh, you can just show up in court, and then you can tell it to the judge. By the time you show up in court, you already pled guilty. You already said, yeah, I violated their rights, and I'm supposed to be here. Then you're going to think you're supposed to get there and argue with the judge, and you are in dishonor every time you open in your mouth and you're trying to argue with the judge. You're in dishonor. So why did you have to go to court? Because you didn't answer. You don't have to go to court when you write your own court, when you create your own contract. Now, when you go to court, or if you go to court, you're going to court with your own court. You're going to court with a lawsuit, a countersuit. So when you walk into court, that court belongs to you. All right? That's what we do. We do countersuits. Give me your ticket. I'm going to make you wish you hadn't stopped me. And then when you're coming into the university, we go into how to get the right tags on your car so that they're not pulling you over in the first place. All right? So this game is deep. This information is very powerful. Thank you, Johnny, for that question. On the money, it says, in God we trust. All right. There was another comment I had in here I want to find real quick. And then I'm going to get back to the information. And let me see. I want to thank everybody for joining. The Jster, Joe Hall with the comment. Thank you so much. Jack Frost, thank you for following. Let's see. Felicia says amen. Let's see. Pudge and the one. And thank you all for buying the ebook, by the way. So go to UNA University and you can get the ebook. Let me see who else I got in here. I'm just following the comments. If you all have any comments or questions that are intelligent, some people say there's no such thing as a stupid question. I disagree. I've been broke for 4 years now. I have no money, so once again, poor white boy misses out. Terry, thank you for that comment, and I want to speak on that. And I need y'all to understand this words. I told you all here with UNA University and UNARepublic, we only deal in the positive. And also, we are gods here. I need y'all to understand this. Terry, you just created a contract right here with your words. And we're going to change our words, and that's going to change our thoughts, first of all. And then it goes into the words that you speak and type. Terry, you type a negative contract here, and it says, I've been broke for 4 years. We're going to change our words, Terry. And your words need to say, I have money coming to me, and I'm going to get what I need when I need it very soon. And you need to repeat that over and over again. We're going to rewrite this contract. I have money coming to me, and I will be able to get what I need when I need it very soon. And all this poor white boy misses out. Cut that out. You're going to change your words, Terry, and start walking like the God that you are. I have money coming to me, and I'm going to get what I need when I need it very soon. Change the contract, Terry, and watch your whole dimension change for you. Once again, if y'all have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section so that I can get to them before I get out. I want to get in the university. How do I do that? Felicia, leave your name or your number in the inbox so that we can give you a call and have a consultation. Jay Jarnell says, when can I expect to receive the physical book? Thank you, Jay. I'm going to send you a message this evening. Okay, thank you so much. And let you know exactly when you can expect to receive it. And thank you so much for your support. One Bull, thank you for joining. Mary said, thank you for following the host. Stone says, what's the information to get into the university again? You can leave that in the inbox. Leave it in, Stone. Leave your number, leave your phone number in the inbox along with your name so that we can give you a call for a free consultation to join the university. Once again, the university starts up for the spring season on Sunday, the 16th of April. Okay, so I would love to have you in the university. Leave your number so that we can give you a consultation so we can bring you into the university. Where do I get to book the book? Go to UNARepublic.com. You can get the book there. Ayers says, I need your assistance. I have court next Friday. Why you wait till the last minute, Ayers? You can leave a message for a consultation. Leave your number in the inbox for a consultation. Alante One Bay. Leave your number in the inbox, not in the chat section. Colin Murray says, how do I join the university? You can leave your number in the inbox once again, and we will call you for a consultation. Skull says, where can you get the book? UNA University. What's the website for the university? UNAUniversity.com. UNAUniversity.com. Con says, I want to join. I want you to join, Con. Leave your number and your name in the inbox. Grove says, okay, I got you. Thank you, Grove. I got you, babe. Okay, now, let's get on this. The next thing that we're going into is I just want to make sure I clear this up about who the straw man belongs to. It belongs to you when you claim it, because the state can't have it. They can't have anything of value. So if it's money, they can't own it. If it's your corporation name, they can't own it. They can't own your vessel. They can't own your Social Security card. They can't own your driver's license. It's got your corporation name on it. It belongs to you. This is why we come in, we learn how to create a trust, all right, and we take it over. And then we learn how to stand on it. And also we put it up so that they can't keep tapping into it. Some of my students last season and my advanced students, they learned in the banker session how to put a lock on the Social Security number. So not even the IRS can go in there and mess with it. All right, now I want to talk about this because before I get out of here, and I just said not even the IRS can mess with it. And some of y'all like, well, the IRS created it. No, they didn't. Because some of y'all not recognizing that the IRS is not truly government. There's the Internal Revenue Service, and then there's the IRS. They the same thing. What talking about? They the same thing? No, they're not the same thing. There is a federal government that provides for you, that gives you funds. And then there's another United States corporation that blocks those funds from you. Now, I need y'all to understand that the United States corporation is like a big credit union. All right. Remember, I told you your mother created an estate and it's been collecting interest over this many years. And then the United States corporation is holding on to it. Yeah, well, they are a credit union. And just like any other credit union, when you go and you put money into the credit union, you become part owner of the credit union. Well, that's what the United States corporation is. It's a great big credit union. And it's holding your estate. All right. And so what you have to understand is that the United States corporation is not truly government. It's just a corporation. They made you believe they're government, but they're not. And this is why it's important to come into the university so that we can really help you to find the information you need so you can see, okay, the IRS is over here and it's a private corporation. You know how you can tell a private corporation when they're trying to charge you for something? When the IRS is coming at you and they're trying to charge you for something, you know it's not truly government. Taxes, you know that's not truly government, because the quote unquote government, they can't accept money from you. They're supposed to be giving it to you, not taking it from you. This is why you need to understand the difference between federal and state. I'm not going over here because I'm going to get out of here. I want to say thank you all for joining. Sunset Beach, I'm going to get out of here. I need you to let me know if there's something I missed. If y'all have any questions before I get out of here, send your questions up. Jay Darnell, thank you so much for the love and support. Nish and Leon, thank you all for joining and following. But you all have to know the difference between federal and state, because when you know coming at you and why and how to deal with them. Now, I talked about court, and I want to make sure I clear that up about why you're ending up in court. You're ending up in court because you are not answering when people are sending you contracts. All right. Once you learn how to answer, then no, you don't have to go to court. But if you choose to go to court, then you know you're going to get paid. All right. If you choose to go to court, then you know you're going to get paid. All right. All right. So please, y'all, like I said, if you want to join the university, go to UNARepublic.com and you can enroll there, or you can send your name, leave your name and phone number in the bio. All right. And then we are going to see y'all next time. I want y'all to know before I get out of here, give shout outs to my people over at Sunset Beach who helped put the ebook together. All right. You can get the ebook once again at UNA University. You can also get the physical copy of the book. You can get that at UNAuniversity.com. All right. Get the book. It's very powerful. All right. This also comes with a laminated copy of the hierarchy of laws, laminated copy of the universal laws, and laminated copy of the vibratory frequency chart. I love y'all. We're going to see y'all next time. YouTube, I love you. I love you. I love you. TikTok, love you. All right, I'm out of here. Diva, peace. Bye-bye. Bye, y'all. Yeah.